Hello. Hello, everyone. If you're catching the replay, welcome. Are we even? We're even enough. I'm Steve. Mark's, is he around? Hi, Mark. He's outside. And this is Smokeysteveandmarc. Welcome or welcome back and happy Sunday. Here we are with another Steve. We'll dinner with Steve. Steve will try dinner. And just share a few thoughts. It's the weekend going into the week. I am not looking at a week that is allegedly, I should shut up, as difficult coming up as the last couple. So I'm looking forward to getting little, like, officey type things done and not be running around so much. Hey, Iron Chef, how are you? Hello, hello. You're having dinner at the same time? So there's a story with the pizza. I'll give it a minute. We are having pizza and we are having some ramen. Again, I found more ramen. It was suggested I put a little bit of butter in there to keep it loose so they don't get clumpy. So I added like half of a tablespoon of butter, and it's keeping it nice and loose. And then I picked up a case of Diet Pepsi today. Why am I showing the front? They don't fucking pay me. And they might pay me. Nardoni's French bread pizza. My parents usually get it from the same place, but they had guests this weekend who ate all the pizza. So me too, Iron Chef. You know what? I am no Sylvia Brown. Nobody. I'm not a psychic. I can't read the tea leaves better than anybody else when it comes to Chantal. But I took a step back probably about a month, maybe 6 weeks ago, because I felt like something big out of her hands is going to happen. And I felt like when that started to brew, I'd come back and share. But what we had gone into prior to this was with her weeks and weeks of just, I'm going to diet, I'm not going to diet. My blood sugar's at a 10 out of a dead sleep, and I'm going to start eating whatever I want, and no one's going to tell me what to do, and I'm going to go save kittens. Kittens. How luscious would it be if her karma came covered in fur? Wouldn't you love that? I thought Bandit would say hi and make a video. No. But how would that be? Like, I don't know. I don't know. But those are the foodie thoughts. I've been keeping up more because, like I said, I think something's going to turn. And I have a few people who have their finger on the pulse of all things foodie and help me stay in the loop with what's going on. The irony, right, Iron Chef? The victim of Chantal's wake that couldn't defend itself and couldn't fight back is the one that will come full circle and leave her jailed or thrown off the roof as a consequence for her stupidity. So that's the thing, Christine. Her cockroaching away. She does it better than anyone. I was saying that. If she was an American, she'd play that poor white woman abroad shit, write a letter to our fair president, and she'd be back in a week. However, she's a Canadian through and through. And she's not said kind things about the country that she had no use for. So she's in a worse spot. But, I think she would find other ways to get herself out of the situation or try to get her way out of the situation. Her cockroachy thing is that she always finds a way to win sympathy just long enough to get out of whatever, just long enough to get out of trouble. So, Jerry Butter, hello. Hello, everyone coming in. Okay, butter on ramen's all right. I didn't know. Nobody told me. And then, of course, we have pizza. Nardoni's, I want to say it's a local brand. This is French bread pizza, so it's essentially French bread with sauce and cheese on top. And it's okay. It's tasty. She does like our fast food, but that's about it. That's any country she only likes the food. Or if she doesn't. Name a country where Chantal doesn't like the food. For every one that she said, I'll do a push-up. I've seen her eat almost everything. The evidence of my claim is her evidence, not mine. So, I hear you, Donna. I don't know if she will get her way out of this one. I was talking to a friend, like, what are the worst consequences that could befall her right now? Worst of the case scenario is she's going to get arrested, taken away from what she considers her home and placed somewhere else, That's going to kick the legs out from under her privilege, totally, because she's not going to be able to play poor white woman in a group of people who think that maybe her position as both means that her opinion doesn't count as much, or her life isn't worth as much, or consequences should be different for her than it would be if, say, she was a man, or say she was Sala, that he would get a different punishment because he's a guy. I don't think she thought through all of this. I think she thought she was like Westerner abroad. She gets the best of both worlds. She gets to play in the culture, mock it, and then at the same time also gets to leave and get the privileges. She doesn't have like dual citizenship. I know people that do. It takes a long time, and the country wants you to be effing useful if you're going to come on to be a citizen there. Remember in the very, very beginning, it was going to be like a travel channel and writing off hotels, and she was just going to be centered out of Kuwait, and we were all going to see, and blah, blah, blah. Whatever. Hi, Irene, how are you? I'm just disappointed, mostly. But, she lets people down. But yeah, this was the consequence of all the ones I'd seen backing up. Hey, actually, I was like, how is she going to get out of this? Thank you, Foxy. See, it's always good to have a live fact checker. So if there's no dual citizenship, then she can't be in both places. Then she was going to take some short time off, If she didn't leave for Canada, she's really in for it, I think. I bet she did. But what did she do? Like, Humpty Dump her way over to the American embassy, the Canadian embassy, and say, I made a mistake. I accidentally stayed 3 years past my stay. Anything to declare? No, I don't have any pets or a husband or anything. Just leave everything there and leave it all behind. Whenever you see those memes on Facebook where it says, sometimes you just gotta be real because folks will bounce on you no matter the history, and that's the effing truth, or ASF, or whatever it is. Those hardcore kind of thuggy memes. She's those people. They would ditch you in a heartbeat if it served her purpose. And that's, it doesn't give me any new angle on thinking about her. I'm still as disgusted with her decision-making process as I ever have been. However, this is a set of consequences that she brought on that she can't seem to get away from. Unless it's all, Chantal, the colossal hoax. Or, these are reputable places with verified sources that people are saying, no, she's I don't know. I've been watching less than directly and reading most of what's been going on. Seeing bits and pieces where necessary. Some things you just need to see the tone, the redness, covered in filter, to get the feel for what actually happened. It doesn't do it just to catch a review. But I'm hoping. She's out of Goodwill Tuxedo. Totally out of good. And as we're looking at her, she still was trying to use a second cat. This came up along the way, which brought in the whole thing. Trying to use something else to manipulate it to get ahead for herself. And so she picked up another cat. You reap what you sow. I didn't know, nobody told me is the most inexcusable, stupid response when you break the law. Ignorance of the law is not an excuse for breaking it. It's not in most places where they have laws, which is almost everywhere of some sort. Ignorance of the law is not an excuse for breaking it. She plays dumb really well, but she's not going to pull a sympathy card in the situation that she's in. What's redeeming about her being there? What's her case for saying, yes, I know I'm all these things, but I really deserve to be in Kuwait because I contribute... Hold on. I know, this cat rescue, which sounds delightful. And she's bickering with them and fighting with them. And I'm sure there's people who have fake accounts that are writing the place saying horrible things about her, and there's her people making up accounts saying that this place is a dump and that they're going to report them. It can't be a Chantal versus outside of YouTube conflict without some bullshit like that. There has to be more than just that little interaction. It's like when Coldy was like, fuck you, bitch, take your bottle and walk. Because they had found out the kind of person they were associating with, so they cut the product. Well, these people seem really proud of the work they do in Kuwait, and they don't want to be talked down to or used as an excuse by Chantal to excuse away something she did. So she can still go, well, I was trying to rescue an animal. I was just doing God's work. Allah, please. So selfish. And if Salva can see clearly and you can't, then you've been over there in the sand too long. You need to get back to the snow. I think the way that like a dog's collar grows into their fur, that abaya is going to grow into her head. I swear they're going to have to cut it off of her all the way around like this, and there will just be hair, sweat, and shame underneath. But her physical appearance and bad hygiene is not it, Are you serious? Posted the screenshot. Public prosecutor. So what could she have done? Is she in flight? Is she gone? She doesn't like consequences, and she thinks she's too cool for school, and that it's all much ado about nothing. So, and everything online is forever. She deletes stuff, she changes postings. I get it, it creates a little bit of confusion, especially for people that aren't aware of her. If she comes onto your radar as animal abuser, and that's all you know, well, you start looking for her posts for stuff about animals. If she's removed them, you won't find any. For anyone who's trying to follow up with something like accountability or justice for her, everything's forever on the internet. And she has people that hate her enough to do every single thing. She did look scared. Well, good. Good. She had it coming. She had it coming. She had it coming. But anyway. I don't know who she thinks she's provoking or with the community posts like that. I don't know. She can't help herself. This is why she's in trouble. She can't help herself. She has to get the last word. She has to get the last say. And if she can't, she'll say the last word and silence the chat or otherwise from saying anything to her or about her. I don't know. Hey, you wanted to be a YouTube star, honey. You didn't say good or bad. You just said known. Don't know what to tell you. And I mean, I don't have any qualms at all of like saying, oh yeah, Salah's this, Salah's that. Salah doesn't care. He's not even part of this anymore. So she won't be allowed back in Kuwait, and if she were, stay away from YouTube. Yeah. I want closure. I want to see I want to see the other side of this. I have to believe. This is too deep. This is too deep. But some part of me has to believe that the world works in a certain way. That if you treat people a certain way, you'll have certain things come back to you. Not necessarily karma, because I know that's like sort of the next life-ish, but that you can't put out insane amounts of shit into the world and then expect to get good stuff back. So when I see her shit all over the world, and all over decent people and the helpless and the vulnerable and take advantage, when nothing happens to her, and I don't see a consequence, it makes me feel like, wow, maybe the world isn't, maybe things all don't have what goes around comes around. Maybe justice isn't justice and fair isn't fair, and maybe she'll just coast through the rest of her life consequence-free, Exactly. Who beefs with an animal rescue? I'm gonna go pick a fight with some Carmelite nuns. Idiot. So, but that's my kind of feeling about that. Like, it triggers something I think deep. She's some rando fat girl in space. A lot of us get heated up by her, and I think everyone knows a Chantal, and she brings up those feelings of, this is what I don't like about people, this is the kind of ook thing. She has all of them at once, and it provokes everyone who meets her in one way or another. I would think so, and I don't think they would feel bad at all about shaming her in the news. Oh my god. We'll see. We'll see. But, I mean, she's a victim of her own big mouth. Who told her to move there? Who told her to run her mouth? Who told her to, nobody. She took nobody's advice, did what she wanted, and now she's having consequences. So, I don't know. Entitled. And entitled is, I think, what bothers people most, because entitled can take a lot of forms. You don't have to be rich to be entitled. You don't have to be privileged necessarily to be entitled. Jamie, I want to see how it ends. I want to see the closure, because it never really ends. It won't really end. Unless she gets the death penalty, it's not really over. She'll show up on another app somewhere else, and it will continue. It will just take a different form. Girl World will go on, even if the girls change. So, bitch, bye. You shouldn't be mean to cats. Of all the things you were... Are the married... Yeah, that could put light on some of the are they married questions. Because she was going to have to leave at some point anyway, so... She made a new community post. She did. I was going to stay up about 3 minutes. Crimes like goats being stolen. Yeah. Oh, her new post as well. I don't have it in front of me. She's probably sitting in an airport going apeshit. Or she's hiding in a hospital going apeshit. Chantal pulls the sick card when trouble comes fast. You want to bet she's going to try to hide in a hospital and with all her presenting health issues, try to weasel her way out of immediate accountability. Try to find her way around to buy herself some time. So she's probably faking some dumb shit. Still in Kuwait. Okay, that makes sense. She's planning to counter sue. What a stupid... It's not suing, it's show. Exactly. This isn't about money. This is about consequences of a crime. You can't move wherever you want and feel like you're only like she has diplomatic immunity. I think she thinks that applies to everyone. That no matter where she goes in the world, she's only bound by Canada's rules. And so, if any other country gets mad at her, well, screw them. Send me back to Canada. You can pay for the ticket. That kind of glib hobo style of traveling is, I think, kind of how she thinks. She needs to get out of there. This is going to get worse before it gets better. She needs to get out of there. She can deal with the rest of us via Zoom from the Western world, but the longer she stays there, the worse it's going to be. It's not going to get better. These people aren't going to, what, meet her in person and apologize to her, and it'll be water under the bridge? I don't think it's going to shake out and sort out as sweetly as she would prefer. I know, and she's on the radar now. She broke too many laws. She's on the radar. She didn't leave yet, and she's not intimidated. Okay, that's not as much news. Plus, she lies. I'm sure there's already people tracking flights from Kuwait to Canada. I have to say, as much as I love Foodie, and I do, I love the drama, I love the insanity of it, all of it. But when you get down to the point where you're checking flights to see if she's left Kuwait and when she could possibly land in Canada, that's out of my wheelhouse as far as following her. I know there's people that do it. Somebody was going to. But I'm like into it, but not that into it, Like, I'm not stalking her Facebook, but if anything, or not her Facebook, her community post. But anytime I check my phone, I check there as one of the places I look. So... yeah, she's not in a good spot. Much of the world, Twitter's tracking the flight. See, you don't even have to. Whatever you think you need to do, somebody's doing it. Someone's already seeing where she is and where she's landing. Assuming she doesn't find another country. Like from the US, I think once upon a time, you can go to Ireland and they have no extradition policy. So even if you committed terrible crimes in one country, they won't move you from another. And so reciprocal laws like that, I don't know. Maybe she'll ship herself somewhere where she can't be sent back to Kuwait or Canada. I don't know. We'll find out together. But if she's tweeting or if she's posting on her community posts, she's sitting somewhere stewing. So she's waiting for dinner She's waiting for a flight, or she's waiting to see her lawyer, waiting in a lobby somewhere. I don't know. Yeah, we got in the way of her trying to do she was trying to do a good deed for a kitten, and everyone tried to turn it into something bad. She was rescuing its life, and then took it to the vet. You mean the cashier at that shady ass pet store, and counted that as going to the doctor. That's what she counts for herself as going to the doctor. She talks to the pharmacist, comes home, and says it with all the certainty like she just left the Mayo Clinic. She's trying to intimidate them. It's not going to work. Doing good, Mr. McFeeds. Pretty good. We're just talking a little bit of foodie. It's not a foodie video, but she's making a spectacle of herself, and it seems like karma might be coming this time. Too many false starts. Too much balking with karma that it's not going through. Yes, Kat, I'm looking right at you. I'm looking right at her. I'm like, you know you fucked up. You know you fucked up, and you don't know what to do. So you're fine, Beth. You know us, we're just BSing and having bland food. We're still on bland food at the moment. If it goes to the prosecutor, she will be toast. If it goes that far. She's not... I mean, she's not... Like, we're going to find out. I don't think she knows the difference between money being sought and freedom being sought. So we'll find out. Finally, guys, a diet that worked. She'll be languishing in a Kuwaiti prison. I love it. I hope no one comes to change her litter box for a few weeks. And Salah's gone. If she ends up incarcerated, Salah's gone. He's on thin ice anyway. Why would he want to put himself more out on Main Street? She'll die. She'll be in medical. I know. She'll be in medical. She'll need her own little... Even in jail, you can find a way to get special treatment. If you have a medical problem. Oh, I need to be in a separate part of the jail that has air conditioning because I have asthma. Damn human rights violations that you can't make. They're going to have to put her in a cool, comfortable room. Monsters. But I think, she doesn't think it's that big of a deal. She's just talking out her ass. She doesn't understand. I don't think she does understand civil to criminal. I don't. And I think even if it was explained to her, she wouldn't want it to be true and wouldn't believe it. Jail, the cells aren't big. Now, I haven't looked into Kuwaiti prisons. I'm not familiar with the difference between something like a provincial or a county type smaller prison or one that's, countrywide, like a federal one. I don't know what kind of charge they'd put on her and what it would, but for the love of dog, you can't handle the truth. Yeah, and then she's going to fake a heart attack. Wait, she's going to have a sudden, really bad health problem very soon. One that's supposed to win sympathy, because right now she's got nobody's. So, yeah, your Slurpees, your little sippy things aren't going to turn into slush the same way. That's what I was thinking. Deported at worst. That's the thing. Teflon Donna. Teflon Donna. We'll see. She skirts a lot. I mean, like I said, I'd like to think that the world works a certain way and that what goes around comes around. Maybe her karma or her comeuppance won't be so public. Maybe it will be more private. Maybe she's having it now and we just don't, The eye black little heart is kind of petty from time to time. Normally, I'd like to think I could rise above or some shit, but I want to see this happen. Detention diet. It's good. They give you just enough to live in jail. They're not going to feed you one bit more. There's a caloric requirement that has to be met globally, wherever allegedly, whether it's followed or not, Yeah, she'll burn Kuwait because she'll owe them money. She can't go back to Canada because she owes them money. Where's she going to go? I agree, Christine. That would be the ultimate in you had it coming. You treated the vulnerable poorly for so long. I would argue that some of her Beezers are vulnerable on the other side of their screen names. And that she takes advantage of that. She's popular enough that you'll get enough people who are not quite with it who will reach out. Dirty litter box, hot room, don't change it, no water. Hi, Oscar. There goes Oscar. Sidebar, Oscar has now started sitting in my lap after 5 years of having him as a cat. 5 years, he'll sit in my lap now. And he'll come up usually in the morning, sit, and wants, petting and whatever. So, oh, no problem, Annie. Family first, gossip second. So, they have their own, asking for a lawyer is probably a level of that she doesn't want to be on. £300. I'm going to say 150 because by the time she loses 300, she's going to have 40 pounds of extra skin on top of a skeleton. No. We'll see. But yeah, jail they feed you just enough to not get the place shut down by the UN. So, find out. And I'm sure that they don't make luxurious women's prisons either. Because, how extra shameful for a crime to be committed by a woman. So. Aww. Yeah, it's like a blessing. I felt so. It was like the highlight of the year. Really, seriously, it's been the highlight of the year so far. And then he'll jump in my lap and stay. In the morning, he'll come and sit. And then even before I go to work, I'm usually only putzing around for a very little bit of time before I head out for the office. And he'll jump up and sit. And I talk to Oscar when I need a morning pep talk. He's my pep talk, mirror. I'm like, gonna be a good day today, right, Oscar? It's gonna fly right by. Next thing you know, I'll be home petting you again. And then, he comes back. So, like I said, it makes me feel like a person. Because, Bandit used to, but stopped pre-COVID. And we've been taking care of Oscar for 5 years. 3 years outdoor, 2 years indoor. 2, 3, something like that. Some combination of that we've had him. And he lived in a closet for 3 months when we first got him. Then he took control of the house. And now he's close enough that I can touch him and he won't shiver. And you know what did it? It was Mark's advice, because Mark's a cat person. He said, go for the kitty butt. Here's the kitty. There's the kitty butt. He's like, make sure you go for the kitty butt. They love that. And within a few months of doing it, I would lay down and he would let me do it. And then we just kind of worked our way up. So it's really on a human level, like that's a goal you can't measure. You know what I mean? I miss my food. Willow, hello. So I went to Giant today and it went well. I don't get the same crap happen to me that Mark does. I went in very quickly to just get a case of Diet Pepsi because I had to make a bunch of stops. I had to go to 2 pharmacies, grocery store, tobacco shop, and then was going home after. And then my parents came over like right after that. So running and hustling and everything. I'm not I've become the hustler. I got grease on my glasses. Of course I did. And of course, Uncle Steve can't see. We're shit. So, speaking of Uncle, there's the pizza story. That's why we're having French bread pizza. My parents have gotten pizza from the same pizza place almost every Saturday for 40 years, maybe. But my brother and his 3 boys and my sister-in-law came up this weekend, and they ate every scrap of pizza in the house that they ordered. 3 growing boys will. So they were like, we didn't have any pizza for you, so we bought this. They handed me some prepackaged French bread pizza as an apology for nothing, for the stuff they didn't bring. Thanks, Griggy. Thanks for dropping by. I'm hoping not to spit in your face. LA, hello. You don't know who I am. You don't know who I am. I'm on Cameo. Should be doing cameos from jail. Uh-oh. Car's holding up. Car's doing good. No snafus since we got the transmission. So we're still getting around. You too, Greeky. We just got, well, the latest post just came out, LA. The one saying, essentially the gist, what people have said is that she's still in Kuwait and that she's suing. She got her own lawyer. She is her own lawyer. She Googled something, I know. So. Oh my God, Steve, do you think she's been detained? Not yet, no. Not yet, Annie. Member for 1 month. Welcome. I forgot we have memberships, by the way, for anyone who's new or visiting. We opened them up maybe a month or two ago. There's only one tier. It's the Smoky Deck. So if you're interested, please feel free to. If you had it and don't want it, no hard feelings. We just any amount of viewing us is support. Any amount of commenting is support. But it was a way people have requested, so if you're interested, check it out. No, but I don't think she's been detained. Exactly. What career? What was it? What her great reputation was damaged by a pet? I don't know. She was ready to drop him. Yeah. Gone. No use for him. Like he never happened. They have nothing they own jointly. It would expose the reality of their relationship as far as married, not married. You know, siblings, not siblings. Wouldn't that be gross? What if Sala's father adopted her? Mm-mm. I don't know. Always the more the merrier. She would have been better off flying to Canada as soon as she could. I agree with that. I think she would have been. Thank you, Christy. So it was don't use Virg. Thank you for the super chat. I won't use it for the cat, I promise. We'll do it for something else. Welcome, new members. Hello. The pause posts have been a tad dramatic. They're a little dramatic, but what else does she have going on? I'd rather this drama than, let's guess whether or not she's going to wake up dead tomorrow. This is at least consequences, beyond health. Part of me feels kind of lousy thinking, I hope this sick person has consequences for being sick. But this lousy person having consequences for shitty behavior, hands off, don't feel bad, worth a damn. Her choices led to this. So, it is what it is. How is she affording a lawyer? Isn't this a civil matter? It would be criminal matter. What does she think she's suing for? Exactly. We're discussing that she doesn't seem to understand the difference between civil and criminal. And that they're not looking for money. They're looking for freedom, her consequences. They're looking for her to have not money taken away. It's all money to her. Doesn't matter. So she'll get more views, but I've been in trouble before and waiting around to risk it. Yeah, I've been in trouble a couple, 2, 3 times, and she's crawling out of her skin. Fat phobia, yeah. You're just calling her an animal abuser because she's fat. Well, skinny people abuse animals too, and they do it the same way you did. So we'll see. Professionalism in Kuwait is not the same as the U.S. We will say things however we feel works. We'll see how this shakes down. Grift shaming. By the way, I'm feeling sad today, guys. If you want to brighten my mood, my PayPal's listed. But the cats are so sick. Think of the children. The children. My poor animals. You know, and I'm the victim here, guys, okay? I'm trying to do the right thing. You just want to stir shit in my life. If you don't care about animals, fine. But don't go chasing these other people, this stupid refuge trying to attract. Who picks a fight with an animal rescue? What kind of a monster would pick a... I don't know. The kitten had a deformed penis. That's your husband, honey. Yeah, that's what she said. Those alleged pictures that went around of Sala. I've seen a few. Shh. It didn't look bad, but it didn't look like, you know, why 10 when you can take 11 is really unnecessary. Aren't being dramatic and using language they believe the government expects them, because listening is also forbidden. Is it true? Well, I don't know about seriousness or not seriousness of it. It's the consequences. So, we'll see. We'll see. Be careful to drink while watching. It was her husband. Okay. I'm not going to promote and post pictures of her husband, you know, but the ones that I saw that leaked, they were not, let's say he'd be jealous of Natter. And I can see why he was happy enough to settle with her, because a woman his age with something going on for her would have expectations. And I'm just talking about not just dick size, but you know what I mean? Like something else going for them. Solid doesn't. I mean, at least if he was a well-hung fuckboy, you could make some kind of use out of him. But your husband, who very likes you, who isn't touching you physically. How do I know? Because I know. I know. French bread pizza. Local store. Sold cold. Heated up when it got home. And then I tore through some ramen. That was actually good. I only had one package. Usually I have two, but I did one. So, I mean, if he was someone who they were just having a good time, Donna, like that's all they were doing. It was like no big deal. But there's a level of seriousness that's thrown on top of this that's just not there. I can't imagine, Kelga. Exhausting. Yeah. I would say if they did a deep dive into her channel since she's been in Kuwait, she wouldn't see the light of day for a long time. Yes, Charlie's mom, I'd be inclined to agree with that. There's a lot of stuff she did. Why would you want to put yourself on the radar? She's such a spectacle anyway. You know what I mean? Like, ooh, burgers. I had my Memorial Day burger. I was quite satisfied. So, it hit the spot. It did. French bread pizza's hitting the spot, too. I never make it. We don't keep a lot of French bread around. But, it was good. Especially if we're still going sort of easy breezy on the tummy as the week begins. Like I said, stress-wise, I'm not looking at much this week. It's like a normal whatever. It should be my short week. I have a half a day coming up. It's been busy, so I'll be busy with that. But, like, I couldn't help but not say something. Making potato salad for the burgers you're grilling. And here I am at home. Oh my God, Ellie, it was the best bath ever. Took all left Mark home because he's grown, and took the car, loaded up like maybe 3. My parents, I found out as I get to their place, said, "Can I bring a couple loads of laundry, and I'll do them while we're hanging out and visiting and whatever." So I bring that up and I have it in the washer. Their washing machine doesn't have that thing in the middle, like the arm that twists it. I guess it just does the outside, so it fits like 3 times the clothes. I fit a ton of it in. Did all that, and then my parents have a, of course, really hot water heater, and it's big enough, not like apartment living, where you can do laundry and run the dishwasher and take a hot bath. So I took a scalding bath using Dove soap extra moisturizing cream. I could only use Dove as a kid. I was allergic to everything else. So, did that. And just relaxed. Just vegetated. So it was good. Hot water soaking in places that I can't really get in the shower. So it was good. It's good for areas that in the shower don't get like soaked much, like your knees, your elbows. It was a good visit. It was a good visit. And we brought home something for Mark. So he was thought of. He was there in spirit. I forgot why he didn't come. There was something going on. He probably didn't feel well. So, well, this is probably the biggest live we've had in a while since we've taken time up. Our old numbers that I used to look at for Foodie Beauty when she was doing, I'd have to throw away a whole Saturday to make those old videos when it was like zoom, zoom. I'd go through like 3 hours, 3 days of our content in like 40 minutes. They were good videos. They were a lot of work. Yeah. Need a bathtub. Cat, when I grew up, we didn't have a shower. We just had a tub. My parents didn't install a shower in the house until I was, I don't know, my 20s, probably, mid-20s. Ivory floated in the wash tub out on the porch. Yeah. It was good. And then my parents, they finally, when they did install a shower, it's nice because it's attached as an augment to the cast iron, the tub. So you still get that hot water feeling, but you also get the shower. So when you're done, because a lot of people think baths are relaxing, but sitting in what Kramer would call a tepid pool of your own filth, whatever. For body scrubbing, I prefer a tub, like knees, elbows, heels, anywhere you might have a little bit extra for scrubbing and stuff. It's a little harder in the shower. Maybe by the time we hit the age where we have a chair in the shower, it'll be easier. We'll see. Rainwater shower head. Ooh, isn't that the dream? The dream house in my head has one of those. I know they're not insanely expensive. Mark doesn't like that style of it, and I'm not that picky usually. He likes it to be like an elephant fire hose that they hose people off before they go to Kuwaiti prisons to make sure they don't spread lice. Something to that pressure he prefers. And I don't really care as much. So I'd probably go for the rain showery one. When we stay at a hotel, it's always fun because sometimes they have the raindrop ones. That's fun for a shower where it's shower for showering's sake, where it's not just the experience of getting clean, but it's something about being there and being comfortable in your body, and it's warm and I don't know, you feel on your own skin, not in that way, keep it out of the gutter, but you can feel your own body. I don't know. They're very visceral for me. Experiences like that. Not bathing because I did it forever, but showering. Plus, I don't take usually 4-hour showers because to me, if you're not sitting, it's not comfortable. So I'm in and out in 4 minutes. Steve, am I wrong? But you have a birthday soon. July, I have a birthday. So it's June 1st now, isn't it? It's Pride Month. Happy LGBTQIA, EIO, brethren. All my guys, gals, and non-binary pals. What? Happy, happy, happy month. But my birthday is in July. So, which is nice this year because my parents' anniversary, the 4th of July, and my birthday all happen within the same few days. And my brother is taking vacation with his family to get a lake house up near my parents' place for, I think, a week or so. And so I'm thinking family barbecues, fireworks. I'm thinking that kind of thing will be happening around then. So it should be fun. Happy Pride! Edgar Poe, as I live and breathe. How are you? Good to see you. Spa for massages. Had a complimentary steam shower. All the Avita you wanted. Massage is coming up on the schedule. I'm starting to get twisted. I'm starting to carry stress in my body and anxiety and stuff. So massage is a great tool to work on that. But, massages aren't free. They have massage schools that you can go to. Mark had got me a gift certificate 2 years ago to get one, and I didn't get it, which turned into him saying, I'm never getting you one again because you wasted it. So now that I'm a bit more tender-skinned, I'm gonna be looking into that for myself. Because again, I think my insurance would probably even cover it. Because I've gone to the doctor because I have arthritis in my knees just from being fat. So I'd be able to go. The 8th Chantal sobriety date from the snow. Oh, dear heart, dear heart. See, cool people are born in. We're cancers, though, if you're in the beginning. End of June, beginning of July, or the first like 3 weeks of July, you're a Cancer. My rising sign is also the moon. Yeah, a lot of stuff. Another one. I haven't seen you in a long time, too. Welcome, welcome. It's good to have you here. Grab a seat. Like I said, we're just catching up on random bits and weighing in on real time with Foodie Beauty at the moment. Apparently, she's still in Kuwait and is going to countersue people that want to see her in jail. Because what damages does she have? I'm not sure. That was brought up as well. Harkins is acting up, and I'm trying. I'm thinking of you, Edgar. That's tough. That's tough. I hate things that flare. It's like, can I just be well, period? You know? GW. When there's trouble, you call GW. Thank you for being here. I swear I've barely seen Mark. Now that the sun's out, he's in the garden the whole time. Like all day and night. I make really good friends with aquarians. For whatever reason. Very, very good friends with aquarians. Booked photo days again this year. Evening Albert food shoot. Scottish. Oh, okay. Well, that sounds cool. You're an Aquarius. Well, duh, of course you are. Um, yeah. Thing is, though, like, she's talking about money, they're talking about jail. I mean, they're on different pages. Chantal's not even getting the seriousness of what's happening. And she doesn't care because she doesn't think it'll come back around her. So, nature is mental health's helper. You know what is? Vitamin D. I'm on like week 6 of a cycle of 450,000 units of D or whatever the hell it is once a week. And I've been trying to get out in the sun every day that I'm at work. I try to get out for 20 minutes of sunshine, take the hat off, so more of my skin is exposed, um, and try to suck some of that in. You know, sunlight in the morning is big depression fighter for me. Sunlight within 10 minutes of waking up. So I mean, throw the curtains open, rip the bed off, you know, all that kind of stuff. But see, you can multitask, Iron Chef. It is doable. Hey, Sharon. Light makes all the difference. I have a light box, except Mark uses it for the plants now, um, which is really good. I have to be careful with it because I have bipolar disorder. So for lifting seasonal depression or like monopolar depression, they're great. If you have a mood disorder that can be on a bit of a spectrum, they just have to be used usually with a doctor's care because too much can lift the depression and throw you into elevated mood. So it is useful for bipolar, definitely for depression. So you got tomatoes. Mine's growing upside down, Charlie. My tomatoes are the topsy-turvies, which we will check in on as the summer goes. But I can tell you that's growing. So, spring mania. I know. I skipped it this year, Kat. I skipped it. We went right into early summer mixed episode. If I can make it from April to July without having to miss like a shit ton of work or end up in the hospital or having some sort of Ophelian meltdown, then it's a good year. So we're going. We're through May. We finished April. We just got to get through June. Oh, God, Drama, I prefer animals to most things. My Oscar! Of course I prefer the animals. Much, much prefer them. So, that's all I got. I don't know. We finished the noodles. I left some of this sauce because it was a bit much, but it's a little bit warmer here, LA. A little bit warmer than it was. It got down inside, it was like 59, 58 at night. It was cold enough that it kind of soured Memorial Day weekend. I was so excited to go to my parents and take a hot bath. But no, it's not too bad in here, but the temperature is going to dip again. So I closed all the windows. But then midweek, we're going to get into the 80s. So really, if you want to cool your whole place down, you should probably turn the air on now because it's going to snap really hot really fast. We'll see. But we're comfortable regardless. We have layers. And kitties, are warm. Mark will be in the kitchen getting his dinner ready. I'm like, what is that? Oh, why do you have the oven on with the door open? Because it's cold. Oh dear. Oh dearest. Oh dear heart. So, what did I do with my... Did I eat? I don't know. I picked my vape up. I put it down. And now it's gone. Lost and gone forever. It's somewhere. So, in the replay, a few years ago, only food you would be with. Hey, Ruth. Good to see you. Well, yeah. I mean, who picks a fight with a charity? Who does that? And as much as I don't like, let's say, Amberlynn Reed or that glitter and horseshit girl, as much as I'm not fans of either of them, you don't hear about them going to stir shit down at the Salvation Army, and create problems, especially problems that Chantal's mad because she got caught and pointed out, not because she doesn't believe she did anything wrong. It's because she was finally put on the radar for something. An accusation that she's entirely complained about and debunked for years about her mistreatment of animals. And this just puts it on Main Street. So I mean, it's going to be on her, whatever happens. Mick Boyle, hello, hello. And Jason, hello, hello. We're just wrapping up here. We'll probably have another 5-10 minutes or so. But, yeah. So going forward, what do I see with Foodie? I don't know. During the real time of this live, and it's 4 o'clock Eastern on Sunday, she's still in Kuwait, according to her. I think she's in a waiting room, airport waiting area, hospital waiting room, somewhere. Trying to do... I don't know, Ruth. We'll find out. Someone said that Twitter is watching the flights. So for those who are keeping a very close eye on Chantal, the information is available if you want to go find it. That's why I heard got the lawyer and the charity better watch itself. Fucking dig the hole deeper. Go ahead. This must be really hard for people that actually care about her. Because everyone else is too busy celebrating. But, can you imagine after not showing up for Christmas or anyone's birthdays or New Year's, she's going to make a cold call. Hey, don't confuse this with anything, but just because I'm calling now doesn't mean I might be thrown out of Kuwait. She'll be lucky if that's all that happens. Deportation. Canada will be thrilled to take her back, too, with all the money she owes. Congratulations on your membership. Congrats, Pixie. So, for F's sake, throwing her weight around. Like she could throw it. Hot bowl of soup with the AC on. I don't follow Pete's. I have no reason to follow Pete's anyway. If Pete's becomes an active character in Chantal's life again, we'll talk about Pete's. But Pete's is doing Pete's own thing right now. I don't know if Pete's is still playing with gender or clothing or pronouns or anything. Doesn't look like it from the pictures I've seen. If he is playing with clothing and whatever, he's not passable. So I don't think that's the goal, But Wonder what he's up to. But like, fuck, I'm gonna go over there and look, because I don't really want to. My Little Ponies. God bless. God bless. He was the only one who loved her, too. Pete's is the only one, because he would take her back now. If she turned to that Sala, so it was like, I can't do this anymore. Pete's would turn around tomorrow if she said, Pete's, it's you I've wanted all along. I've never been so blind. Take me back. He would do it in a heartbeat. And he'd be paying her bail. Well, I wouldn't accuse him of being ambitious, Cat. Pete's, in a heartbeat, take her back. In a heartbeat, he would take her back. Poor bastard. I think eventually she'll realize this. He couldn't pick her up in the airport. He didn't have a driver's license. Pete's did, though. That's how she isolated and controlled Pete's when they lived together. She's always one-upped the person with transportation. It was like that with Natter. Probably like that with Baby. That the person, if she provides herself out there and puts herself on the altar of nice, allegedly, to do something for someone else. Well, when she can only drive you there, she controls when you leave. She controls when you travel, unless you're willing to pay for Ubers and stuff like that. It's just more Chantal leverage. She can't even go in a friendship without having it. I mean, in a relationship, she treats it like a bartering tool. That man who abused me, who I drove to see in the middle of the night, all those times, over and over. And when the bastard told me no, I claimed abuse. Women generally don't do that, just so we're all on the same page. But there's always a couple folks of any minority group who make it harder on everybody else who's actually been a victim of the crime they're alleging. Like, remember that light-skinned black guy who said he was beat up for being gay in Chicago and he staged the whole thing? He wasn't even that big of an actor anyway. So when something happens like that, it's not sympathetic. And on her end, there's the angle of crying wolf. Well, who cares if you're in trouble? Yes, Ruth. Jessie Smollett. She has a job in her own place. +5 for Dee Dee. She can keep a man. Chantal can't keep a man. So that goes. Well, everyone, we're coming to the end of our hour almost. Yeah, he still took Dee Dee over her. Natter's the kind of smug bastard that would cut his nose off to spite his face. Which means he was willing to do it with her, even if he thought she was beneficial, or even though she knew she was beneficial, he was willing to hurt himself to hurt her, because he's petty like that. So he did. And the fact that she's still bothered by it, I'm sure tickles him. But maybe Natter's playing the long game too. So thank you everyone for joining me tonight for dinner. It went down smooth, and it's always good to have good company. So we got to check in a bit on the Foodie Beauty stuff. Feel free to rewatch. Feel free to give it a thumbs up. Do subscribe. Hit the notification bell. You'll get alerts when we have new videos and when we go live. Welcome new members who may have been initiated tonight, and thank you for the ones who've been gifted. We are on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all the good stuff. Thank you, and we'll catch up with you very soon. You'll be seeing Mark next. I can't tell you when because I don't know. But you'll be seeing Mark next, okay? So, thanks everybody. Look after yourselves, look after each other, and we will talk soon, okay? Bye.